Never chase someone who's not afraid to lose you. That might sound harsh, maybe even cruel, but truth doesn't care about comfort, it cares about clarity. And here's the truth most people spend their whole lives avoiding. If someone can sleep peacefully after pushing you away, they were never really holding on to you in the first place. Let that sink in. We've been conditioned, by stories, songs, even childhood fairy tales, to believe that love must be proven, that loyalty means waiting, that chasing someone is somehow noble, romantic, even heroic. But reality, it's colder, more indifferent, and far more honest, because if someone doesn't fear your absence, it means your presence was never a priority. This isn't about bitterness. It's about understanding the psychology of attachment, the weight of self-worth, and the invisible currency we trade in every relationship, emotional investment. In ancient Rome, the philosopher Seneca warned against being a slave to another's whims. He wasn't just talking about political tyranny. He was talking about emotional bondage, the kind where your happiness hinges entirely on someone else's validation. Sound familiar? Think about it. How many times have you held on to someone simply because you feared what it would mean to let go? How many nights did you wait for a reply that never came? How many apologies did you whisper to your own reflection for caring too much, giving too much, staying too long? Here's the brutal irony. The more you chase, the faster they run. Not out of malice, but because we, as humans, are psychologically wired to devalue what is freely given. The easier something is to attain, the less we respect it. That's not cynicism, that's neuroscience. Psychologists call it the scarcity principle. When something, or someone, feels rare, it gains value in our eyes. But when affection is always available, always forgiving, always accommodating, it fades into the background. Like static, like white noise, you become invisible, and invisibility in the emotional realm is worse than rejection. It's being present yet unnoticed, loud yet unheard, alive yet irrelevant. So why do we chase? Why do we keep offering our hearts to people who don't even look up to see them breaking? Because chasing gives us hope, a fragile, deceptive kind of hope, one that whispers, maybe if I just try harder, love more, shrink less, they'll finally see me. But that's not hope. That's self-erasure, and slowly, piece by piece, you disappear. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen someone truly terrified of losing you? It's a different kind of energy. They show up, they communicate. They respect the silence between your words, not just the sound. They don't make you question your worth. They make you feel safe in your own skin. Now compare that to someone who shrugs when you walk away, who doesn't call, who only returns when they feel lonely, not when they miss you, but when they miss attention. That's not love, that's convenience, but the danger is subtle, because people don't always leave you with a door slam. Sometimes they leave by slowly closing the space between moments. They stop asking how you are. They stop noticing when you're not okay. They turn your presence into an expectation, not a gift. And then, when you finally gather the courage to pull away, they act surprised. Offended even, because how dare you stop giving them the very things they never earned. In the 1800, Dostoevsky wrote about a man who needed to be needed. Not loved, not understood, but needed, because being needed gave him purpose. And without that, he was nothing. How many of us live that way today? We confuse being needed with being valued. We confuse attention with affection. We confuse presence with partnership. But here's the key difference. Someone who values you will never put you in a position to question whether you matter. And if they do, walk away, not to punish them, not to manipulate them, but to liberate yourself. Liberation begins the moment you stop proving your worth to people who never deserved front row seats in your life. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. every unanswered message, every broken promise, every silent dismissal. You either confront it or you absorb it. And what you absorb becomes who you are. You don't need to raise your voice to be heard. Sometimes silence is louder than begging. Sometimes leaving speaks louder than staying. Sometimes disappearing is the only way to be seen. But make no mistake, choosing yourself will come at a cost. You'll lose people. You'll be misunderstood. Some will call you selfish, cold, distant. Let them. They're not your tribe. They're not your mirror. And they don't get to define your story. You are not here to be everyone's safe space while setting yourself on fire for warmth. You are not here to convince someone that you're enough. You are enough the moment you stop chasing and start choosing. Choosing peace over chaos, dignity over desperation, solitude over conditional company. And yes, it will hurt. Growth always does. But it's the kind of pain that cleanses, the kind that reshapes you from the inside out. The kind that reminds you you're still here, still standing, still capable of love that doesn't cost you your soul. History is full of people who were underestimated, ignored, discarded, until they stopped chasing and started building. Oprah was told she was unfit for television. Van Gogh died poor, unrecognized, forgotten. Even Buddha walked away from a palace of comfort because he knew something deeper was missing in what they all had in common. They stopped trying to fit into spaces that couldn't hold the weight of who they were becoming. So ask yourself, are you shrinking to stay loved, or growing to be free? Because chasing someone who's not afraid to lose you is like running after a shadow. No matter how fast you move, it was never meant to hold you. Let them go, and while they're forgetting you, go find yourself. Pour your time into your passions. Build friendships that feel like truth. Speak words that echo with meaning, even if only you hear them. And one day someone will meet you there, not because you chased them, but because your light reached theirs. Not because you begged, but because you bloomed. You'll know it's real when you don't have to lose yourself to keep it. So stop knocking on doors that don't open. Stand still. Turn inward. Remember who you were before the world told you to prove it. And if this message found you at just the right time, maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe it's your turning point. If this spoke to something buried inside you, if it cracked a truth you've been too afraid to face, then let it sit with you. Let it challenge you, and if you're ready to reclaim your worth, start by doing this one thing. Don't chase them, let them, then rise. If this message meant something to you, share it. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, take a moment, reflect, ask yourself, what am I still chasing that no longer serves me? And if you're brave enough to let go, I promise you'll find something greater waiting on the other side.